Okay, all right. So this is a pressure cooker. It is very angry. It is very angry. Okay, it is very angry. I made this cup, that small cup. I cut that tin empty. Okay, this is just all. So that is overpressure. You hear the overpressure? That is overpressure. That is the overpressure valve. Okay, it has come at the time when I'm okay. Okay, that is the overpressure valve. Now here, this is the pressure valve, pressure release valve. But when the fire is too much and it builds more than it can contain, then it will release that. It will release through that valve. So pressure here, there is a what? There is an air heating here. Let me get the microphone here, and you hear. You can hear clearly, maybe somehow. This is a microphone, but I'm trying to. You can hear it is cold, wide and cold, because the air, it is steam. It is steam because the air was expelled a long time ago. But steam is hitting on this. Let me hit it. So it is hitting it. So this is a microphone. This is my functioning microphone. Well, okay. So you see, you see that rubber is trying to pop up. It's not rubber, by the way. It is silicone. It is a silicone. It's not rubber. So it is silicone. So the pressure has built up. Then this one, when it builds up, this first pressure, the pressure closing or maintaining valve closes. You have to push it down now. At this time, I cannot push it down, okay, because it is too hard. Now, this one has closed now, the overpressure valve, somehow, a little bit. But this one is so angry, that it is releasing now. Okay, it's releasing the pressure. Let us look underground, underneath. It's not a lot of fire, but, okay, it's not a lot of fire. But, yeah, gas fire when it is like that, that's a lot, but it is night time right now, okay, so that's fire. So it is very angry. At that time it is very angry, it is very hot, and that cooks. If you leave this food, if it is meat, you leave it here, okay, like what, mlokoni for example. If you leave it here, okay, if you leave it here like this for 1 hour, the bones will turn into meat. That's think of cooking mlokoni for how many hours? For 5-6 hours. If you leave it here like 1 hour, okay, the bone and meat will mix together. Bones will become meat. Okay, so at this time it is very hot. Even if you leave it here for like 5-10 minutes, after after that valve reaches an extent of opening, it is a lot of pressure. Okay. So if you leave it, you take this one off, like in the first video that I showed you. If you turn off the fire to the minimum for like 5 minutes, okay, after 5 minutes you turn it off, it will take 1 hour. It will take like 10 or 15 minutes for this one to come to atmospheric pressure. This one here. After 15, without any fire, it will take like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. To cool down, to totally cool down. Okay, but now I think it's gonna become, so it is hot now, hot enough. I think I should wait for like 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes when that fire is still high. 5 or 10 minutes, and after that you can take it out, or you can reduce it totally to minimum. That is like putting the cooker, putting the cooker on the ash. So it sits on the ash, and this one might not. This might take like 30 minutes to fall if it is sitting just on ash, on very small fire like ash. Okay. So I have put these things just to show you what happens. I'm cooking well, but I've put it here for you to see what I'm trying to say. So that is it, and I will come back. I think, and I'll come back and show you like after 5 minutes. I'll turn it off, but there is a video which you can add together. You can join those pieces and get to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this is how to make this cup. This cup was like this one. Okay, I cut it with a makasi, with a whatever you can. I cut it into half. It is just half the cup, here to here. Okay, it was like this one. Now it is holding, it has to be short enough so that it is not just a hole. So it is sitting on the pressure valve. It is sitting on top of the pressure valve. It is not sitting on the what? On the saucepan's lid. It is not sitting on the saucepan's lid. So there is a gap here. So there is a gap there. Okay, a very small gap. When you put on a paper like this, okay, it helps it not to slide off. Okay, not to slide off. So it cannot slide off because this paper is not slippery. But if you leave it just on the lid, it will be slippery. So to prevent that, you get a piece of paper. You can get a very good piece of paper, and it can work for a very long time, as long as you know that is the value. I mean, that is its purpose. That is the purpose for sitting on the saucepan. So you get a piece of stone which you have to use to cover this pressure valve. Don't cover it so much, because first of all, pressure cannot build more than it can hold. There is an overpressure valve. If you close that, this one will release, unless you add in more fire. But this one, the more you add, this pressure valve will overpressure valve. Overpressure. This is for overpressure. Still, it will do what? It will release. So now, you see now the regular pressure. Look. Okay. So if I take it off, it will escape. It will escape, and that is the normal pressure. This is for the normal pressure, which was created for this one, which was gauged for this one. But to me, it is not enough. That pressure is not enough. That's why I need some more pressure. That's why I made this one to add on. Okay, you can get a saucepan or something. Be creative. Just be creative and get something. Like I have made this. You can get a piece of paper that is good. Even a kigogo or something like that. Just get a kigogo, kidubulemu hagati, kiasemu hagati, then sit it there. Okay, sit it there. It will help this one. You do not have to have a piece of paper. I'm using paper. Nothing will burn here. Okay, the kigogo will not burn. The kigogo will not burn. You have a thick kigogo. You know that is its purpose. It will sit here, and you cover a little on top of it. You'll cook beans using 1/4 of the time, one quarter of the time, 1/4 of the time you use to cook beans. This one here, this pressure cooker, 1/4 of the time you use to cook beans is what you will use to cook beans here. Okay, once this valve starts, once that valve opens, okay, reduce the fire to the minimum, okay, to the minimum, and for 15-30 minutes you can totally turn it off. Okay, you can turn it off and wait for like another 15 minutes. This one will fall. That is automatic, because when this one is open, this one is up, which means it is closed and it is locked, you cannot open this lid. Okay, that is it. So let me remove the fire to minimum. Yeah. Okay, here I'm using this. Okay, use the fire to here. So okay, after 5 minutes, now even if it is reduced, now it is ready. It is ready.